Hi, I'm Allison Albasi.
And I'm Elaine Fleming.
And this is What the F Do You Taste Like? Today on What the F Do You Taste Like, we're gonna do something a little different than usual. We want to talk about colon cancer because it's Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and also because colorectal cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States. That is not entirely preventable, but there's a lot of things you can do to lower your risk. So the dish we're making today is intentionally things that are good for helping you prevent colon cancer. The other major reason that we decided to do a colon cancer awareness episode in the first place is because I personally lost someone really close to me a few months ago to colon cancer, which she battled with for 6 years. My best friend growing up, it was her mother, and they do the walk every year, the colon cancer awareness walk. She was a really important person in my life, and we don't usually or have yet to do any weird, heavy, emotional shit, but I thought it was, a pretty important thing.
Even if you haven't ever lost anybody to colon cancer, somebody has had a scare in their family. So it's just something that isn't talked about a lot.
If you have a family history, then you're at a higher risk already. If you have any sort of digestive disorder, which I do, so it's also is something that I've had to think about in my 20s, things like that are contributing factors regardless of how well you take care of yourself. The difference is your diet and tobacco use and alcohol intake and all of those things are major contributing factors to colon cancer. All of that being said, we wanted to make a dish that still fits all of the criteria for being helpful in preventing your colon cancer risk, which is high fiber, eating a lot of fruits and veggies, which goes hand in hand with fiber intake because vegetables are really high in fiber typically, and lowering your red meat intake. So we wanted to do something that fits the criteria for being a good dish that's also delicious, that is helping you lower your risk of colon cancer. Our initial idea was to do a vegetarian entree, but I realized that it is Lent. Seafood is on sale,
which is exciting to us poor girls
that
love seafood.
Yeah. So we're gonna make a shrimp and artichoke dish over brown rice. You could also put it over whole wheat pasta. Whole grains are super high in fiber. It's one of the best ways to get fiber in your diet. We're using a lean protein. Artichoke hearts are really high in fiber as well and good for you.
Normally on the show, what we usually cook is pretty basic, so we don't usually show you all of the steps involved because it's already pretty self-explanatory. For a more complicated, not too complicated entree like this, we are going to cut away, show you a little bit of prep work, and actually take you into the kitchen and show you how the thing's made. Right now.
Scrimps.
It's on sale!
I got frozen ones because they were the cheapest. So we've got all these shrimps that we're gonna turn off the camera and take the shells off of, which is annoying. We're gonna make brown rice as the base. If you are used to white rice and you're switching over, brown rice A requires more water and B takes longer to cook. So the rice, we're gonna start first. Pop it on the stove. It does take about 55 minutes. It can just cook while you're dealing with everything else. Ingredients we're using that don't really need a lot of explanation are Parmesan. Don't buy the green shaky, that's not cheese. We're going to use a shallot, which if you're not familiar, in texture is similar to an onion, but it tastes like a combination of garlic and onion. Lemon juice we're going to use to flavor the sauce. Artichoke hearts. There were 5 different brands of artichoke hearts and all of them had added salt. When I open these in a minute, I'm gonna rinse them with water pretty good, and then I'm actually going to make a point not to add salt to the rest of the dish until I taste it. My initial plan was to use coconut milk to make the sauce creamy. My personal issue is that sometimes coconut milk gives things a sweet. Yeah. So I also got regular heavy whipping cream. It's organic, which is important if you stay away from dairy like we do. I'm gonna use it to make the sauce creamy. Rules for using white wine in your cooking. Buy a wine that you at least find drinkable. You really shouldn't cook with any wine that you wouldn't find palatable to drink. We're gonna use a little bit of lemon juice and white wine, but you could easily do one or the other.
So we are going to set up in the kitchen and show you how this shit's made.
film. It looks f***ing delicious from here though. It's really, really good.
It's really good.
But seriously, so this is exactly what I was going for. My whole point was that I also wanted to make something that was still really f***ing good. I feel like we nailed it. Boom! Oh! The whole reason we did this is because it is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Again, not to harp on the downside of it, but I lost somebody really important to my life recently from colon cancer. This is really, really important to me, and that's why we did it. You have to educate yourself. That's part of what we're doing, is educate ourselves and then share it with